What's up, Libra? We got, first, we're going to do a description from a card pulled from the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck, and this is by Adriana Ayales, and then we'll do the reading thereafter. Okay, so this particular card is Pau d'Arco, with the subtext of metamorphosis. Discovery through darkness, transcendence of the unknown, or transcendence of the known, unearthing fear, nonconformity, breaking cycles. Pau d'Arco, commonly known as Tahibo or Lapacho, is one of the most beautiful trees on earth. With over 100 varieties, this tree has been used medicinally among many tribal peoples throughout Central and South America. Most commonly, the inner lining of the bark was boiled for a long period of time, then consumed as a dark coffee-like tea. Pau d'Arco has many medicinal qualities that fall under the Moon and Pluto's domain, such as being a blood tonic, a daily tonic for strength, and also being employed for digestive imbalances, menstrual irregularities, malaria, anemia, colds, flus, fungal infection, respiratory problems, arthritis, cancer, and a lot more. The Incas and other groups predating them were known to use Pau d'Arco as a panacea. Tribes living thousands of years, tribes living thousands of miles apart have employed it for the same medicinal purposes for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Many tribes used its wood to make hunting bows, utensils, and all sorts of tools, believing that it provided great blessings of strength and resilience. Guarani or Tupi and other indigenous tribes called it El Árbol de Viaga, which translates to the Tree of Heaven in Guarani. The Milky Way was known as the Road to Yavaga. This is the guidance portion. Lapacho is one of the great protectors of the sacred, and she is welcoming you in. Archetypically, Pau d'Arco embodies one of the faces of the dark goddess in her mighty splendor. The dark goddess is multifaceted, challenging belief systems, frailties, weaknesses, and testing our strength. Like Pluto, Lapacho demands you rebel against the ignorance of the old self and learn paradigms that inhibit the splendor of your self-expression. Her mighty darkness provides tools to rebuild ourselves anew, triggering instant metamorphoses. Don't fear the unknown nature of mystery. The cosmic womb in its darkness births all hidden potential into existence. Trust and step in. You are being guided. Okay, so a few things I would say I'm really being reminded of right now. One, the idea of consistency. First off, there's one of the first things that really came to me while I was reading this card was the idea that across hundreds of miles, or was it thousands of miles or hundreds of miles? Yeah, thousands of miles apart. They had indigenous people that used Pau d'Arco for the same quality. And in terms of right now, our ability to kind of really, our strength in terms of our conscious understanding and the conscious impact that really energetic exchanges with nature is severely inhibited right now. So, like, for instance, this idea of, medicine, we only have nature, right? So these idea of pharmaceutical companies, they get something, they take a few pieces out of it, and they basically just say, hey, okay, well, hey, we can product this because it's not a natural chemical, right? They can take that, package it, and sell it at that point. But when it comes down to the concept, here of taking an actual plant and having that consistency across indigenous tribes thousands of miles apart, that speaks to something, right? Because in terms of right now, we kind of have that understanding more so through just the, more so the actual written and written understanding more than the actual energetic exchange that a lot of the herbalists, or not even herbalists, but a lot of the herbalists would have through experiencing Palo d'Arco, right? Like every herbalist they don't just take something, experiment, and find the same thing across thousands of miles or whatever. And when I say, and why I chose to say herbalist anyway, when I was kind of restricting myself, was the idea of there is no real hierarchy to the concept of an herbalist. I think there are differences in quality in terms of how long someone spends practicing and how dedicated they are to their practice, but the idea of an herbalist in general is someone who basically uses herbs and utilizes herbs for any particular purpose or whatever, and they don't really gain their usage through the energetic exchange that they have with that personal energetic exchange that they have with that plant, in terms of it's more guided through the idea of whatever, right? But in any case, when we come back to kind of our senses and kind of building up and strengthening our understanding of really the sensory world in general, right? We'll be able to sense and do more of this idea of basically the consistencies that these particular tribes would have will carry over in this world, and we'll be able to utilize that for certain things. But we have to come back to our senses. We have to come back to that idea of a true energetic exchange, basically strengthen our capability in our to have these energetic exchanges with nature in any way, or with herbs in any way. Just that was kind of one of the things that kind of jumped out at me. But I want to say that another one that I think you guys should definitely hear, because I think I've kind of brushed over it, but I haven't really told the idea and the concept behind why, right? But one-on-one conversations, they have a very real impact on us, in terms of when we talk about this archetype. The archetype of Libra it's not like other, it has this unique signature, and that particular unique signature is rooted in personal relationships, specifically one-on-one relationships, but also just the idea of those relationships in general and how they can impact us. If you are for any reason in a relationship with someone who maybe seeks to control or manipulate you in various ways, you need to watch out for that. That can be something that these people can really see in you, right? Like you will really, you can merge with the other person in a way that could really leave you vulnerable to things like manipulation. So when we talk about really rebelling against the ignorance of the old self, or learn paradigms that inhibit the splendor of your self-expression. And I'm really feeling called to really hammer that down so you guys have a more intricate understanding of this idea of really how these people around, or these, specifically people around you, for sure, but in terms of the other person, those relationships have a tremendous have the capability to have a tremendous impact on you, and that is something that you want to watch out for, and something you want to be careful about, right? Because those relationships, when it comes down to being in a relationship, you shouldn't be in a relationship because you are lonely, right? Because you are when you are lonely, that means you don't like who you are with, right? So that understanding has to be really, really carried over, in terms of you can't simply jump into a relationship without first fixing and understanding yourself and having that relationship to where you no longer really feel lonely. You just are in a relationship because the other person adds something to your experience as a whole. So that's important. It's very important. And when you have that, when you gain that ability, you're no longer going to really be susceptible to things around manipulation and people who need to make you feel small to make themselves appear bigger. In a lot of cases, those you want the right relationships. And those aren't things that just come in. You shouldn't view that as more of like you shouldn't view the right relationship as completing you. You should view the right relationship as things you really like, someone you really want to complement your life, right? This idea of, I think there's always give and take. Any relationship is a responsibility, but you should have a very significant element of, hey, I really do enjoy, doing and being with this person, and I feel like this does make me, or this does complement my life in certain ways, and be able to really mark that out. And I feel like I really wanted to. I felt like I needed to hammer down on that, and the herbal stuff. I'm really. I hope that you guys got a message on it, but I feel like I might have went a little bit kind of on the herbal side a little bit, but I think I'm gonna leave that in just because I think more people need to hear about it. In any case, have a good week, and I will see you next week. Thank you.